This video is brought to you by vidIQ, the Chrome extension designed to help you get more views in less time. With The Nun having only just come out, many horror fans are already looking forward to the next installment in what has become known as the Conjuring universe. In this video, I'll be discussing what's in the pipeline and what could be in the pipeline in terms of future films. Right now, at the time this video goes up, there are already 3 Conjuring films being developed. First, we've got a third Annabelle movie, which will be a sequel to the Conjuring films where Annabelle is locked up in the room of cursed objects in the Warren home and starts to interact with the other objects to create mayhem. However, the line that separates the mainline Conjuring films from the spin-offs so far is that the Conjuring films feature Ed and Lorraine Warren, while the spin-offs do not. But with this movie taking place in the Warren home, wouldn't that make it a mainline Conjuring film? Here's how I think it'll go down. In the first film, The Conjuring, we see Ed and Lorraine's daughter, Judy, sneak into the room and she's reprimanded for it. Then later on in the movie, she wakes up in the middle of the night to find the door, which has like 100 locks on it by the way, ajar, with the Annabelle doll missing from its case.
Dad?
And then a creepy lady is combing Annabelle's hair in the rocking chair, and then this happens. But when Ed checks things out, everything is in order. We don't really know what happens to Annabelle after that because the first 2 Annabelle movies are prequels that take place before The Conjuring, and we really only spot Annabelle in the case at the end of The Conjuring 2. So my guess is that Annabelle 3 will take place while the Warrens are away on another case. Perhaps this takes place at the same time as The Conjuring 3, and the film will focus on Judy, or the nanny who takes care of her, as horrors start to take place around the house. With Ed and Lorraine not there to help, Judy may have to take on this entity on her own. She's also a teenager now, so that comes with its own set of problems, and maybe to defeat the spirit possessing the Annabelle doll, Judy has to have her own spiritual awakening as a medium. After Annabelle 3, the next movie in the franchise is The Crooked Man. We don't know anything about this one yet, but like the other initial spin-offs, Annabelle and The Nun, The Crooked Man will most likely be an origin story for the entity that spooks in the Hodgson family in The Conjuring 2. However, it's not entirely clear if the Crooked Man is just another form of Valak, or if he's his own entity that Valak takes control of. At the end of The Conjuring 2, it is the Crooked Man children's toy that Ed puts into the room of cursed objects, which kind of suggests that it was Valak, but now that the Crooked Man is getting his own movie, we'll have to see if that holds true. The last film currently being produced is The Conjuring 3, which will obviously be based off one of the Warrens' published cases. But we're not here to talk about The Conjuring 3, we're here to talk about future spin-offs. What might be in store? Well, in 2016, there was a short film competition known as the My Annabelle Creation Contest, where filmmakers were challenged to make their own Conjuring universe film. The winner was an entry by a filmmaker named Julian Terry about a girl in the hospital undergoing some kind of eye procedure and the demonic nurse that haunts her. No, I'm not going to show the whole thing because I don't want anyone getting sued. Mostly me, I don't want myself getting sued. But that seems to be a likely conclusion that the nurse will be joining the lineup of bad guys in the Conjuring universe sometime in the early 2020s. Later in the real-life Warrens' careers, they took on a couple of disciples, Dave Considine and John Zaffis, who went on to have careers as media personalities, demonologists of their own. Zaffis is actually the nephew of the Warren couple. He has his own museum of paranormal objects, and you can read about some of them on his website. Personally, I could see Simon, a supposedly haunted puppet, being the subject of a future Conjuring film, given James Wan's affinity for creepy puppets, so much so that his Twitter handle is @creepypuppet. The family who owned Simon claims their young son would tell them that the puppet talked to him, and one day, the mother walked into his room to see the puppet's mouth moving on its own. Other notable objects that I could see getting their own movies include a clown antique that causes extreme discomfort for those who touch it, marionettes that have been blamed for causing bizarre dreams, Mr. Sinister, an ornament that has been said to cause unexplainable odors and, quote, a very bad tingling feeling, an idol said to be cursed with black magic, Mr. Bojo, a puppet accused of causing supernatural occurrences in a house and nightmares involving a life-sized version of Mr. Bojo, and Island Man, a 3-foot statue said to move around the owner's house on its own, talk to their son, and supposedly move the son from room to room. So that leaves us with a ton of ideas for possible movies in the Conjuring universe. Let me know in the comments which movie you're looking forward to the most, and which of these other ideas you'd like to see get a movie of its own. And if any of you are creators, or if you're uploading content to YouTube at all, you're not doing it right unless you have vidIQ. vidIQ is the Chrome extension that I used to blow a video up to 1 million views last year when I only had about 6,000 subscribers. vidIQ even has a video on their channel analyzing how I pulled it off. All you have to to do is download the vidIQ extension and you get a ton of free features, like the video scorecard, which shows you how to optimize a video and get the perfect SEO score, and the new channel audit tool, which looks at your channel and tells you exactly which videos need work and how to improve them. Just go to vidiq.com, link in description to get started. And if you're a fan of horror, please remember to like this video and subscribe to CZsWorld for new horrors every week. Ring that death bell for notifications, and I'll see you in the next one, assuming we both survive.